everyone, this is Lilith with a new video for Altenew. Today I'm going to be creating a layout using the Tea Time stamp set and the Coffee with a Splash set. Now these are very themed stamp sets, but I'm going to show you that you can create a layout which has nothing to do with the tea or the coffee theme. So first of all, I'm going to use some of these lovely splashes which you get on the Coffee with a Splash set, and I'm using them more as ink blotches. So I've taken out a couple of colors. I'm going to be using Sweet Leaf, which is this lovely minty green, and I'm just going to stamp that once. I worked a little too quickly, which meant that my stamp was a little blotchy, so I just placed it over the image again and just stamped it again. I'm also going to be using Pink Diamond, which is this lovely soft pink color, and I'm going to add that in a diagonal, and then I'm going to add a little bit of blue, which is called Dewdrop, which is this lovely soft blue. So here I've got my first visual triangle, and I'm going to add a subtle tone with the second splash stamp, and I'm using a very light gray. This is just to add a bit of detail and a bit of movement to the page. So once I've got my stamped clusters here, my 3 stamped clusters, I'm going to place my photo and see how that looks, and then I want some more detail. So I'm going to use this lovely little leaf from the Tea Time set. So this you can use for any theme, and it adds lots of movement and just some fun little detail. And I'm going to stamp that all around that circle which I drew with a pencil. Now, usually what I would do once I have my main design in place is that I would start working on my title or try to see where I will place my title. But here I started with the journaling, and instead of handwriting it, I'm just using a couple of sentiment stamps from the Tea Time set. I picked out I Like You a Lot, and then the sweet little stamp, and a whole lot, which is this really tiny stamp, and I stamped that 3 times. I do this quite often. I will use elements in groups of 3. This just adds balance, and it's just something which I do a lot on my layouts. My photo, I'm going to mat that onto some white cardstock just to make it pop off the page a little bit more. And I'm using some pattern papers from the Reflection Scrapbook Collection as well as the Our Family Scrapbook Collection to create my own little embellishments. This paper with the lovely little roses is from the Reflection Scrapbook Collection, and this is a great set. This is a great paper if you want to cut out these lovely roses. But if you have this stamp, you could also just stamp it onto some white cardstock and then cut them out as well. But here I'm just cutting out a couple of these shapes which I will use as embellishments. I'm also going to cut out or to punch out a couple of butterflies from different pattern papers, and I really love this lovely grey wood grain, and I'm going to use a couple of heart dies from the Halftone Hearts Nesting Die set and just cut those out using my die cut machine. So I'm going to work with the grain and just cut out these little hearts, and I'll also be using them as embellishments and creating little clusters of embellishments with those. So now that I've got all my elements, I can start placing them around my layout. So I've got my little flowers, I've got my hearts and my butterflies, and then at the very end I will go through all my stickers and my enamel dots from Altenew and add a couple of bits and bobs from those sticker pages. For my title, I will be using one of the chipboard words from the Our Family collection, which says family. This will also add a little hint of color. Now, to make those little hearts stand out a little bit, I'm going to add a border around the edge. First I thought I would just use the die to trace, but that was a little difficult. So I just took my pen and just added a fun doodle border around the edges. This just helps them pop off the page. So my layout is nearly finished. I will add a couple of ink splashes at the end, and there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you very soon with another video for Altenew. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.